What is up, fellas and ladies? I'm on my way to a beta demo day up at NATRA. It's being hosted by Adventure Off-Road out of Leoma, Tennessee. Mark, the owner, is a friend of mine. He also maintains a lot of the trails at NATRA, and he is a beta dealer. So he's bringing out 8 bikes, I believe 4 4-strokes and 4 2-strokes. I'm definitely interested in the 2-strokes. I think they're going to have the Xtrainer, the 200, the 250, and the 300. So that's pretty much the entire lineup, which is pretty exciting. The kids course is pretty straightforward, simple track, but I think it's going to be good because you get to ride the bikes back to back on the same exact terrain. So it should be pretty easy to compare. Now I know the suspension isn't going to be set up for my weight, but the engine characteristics are going to be obviously pretty clear to understand. So I've never ridden a beta 2-stroke, so I'm pretty interested to see what it's like. They're carbureted, but they do have oil injection, so it's kind of the best of both worlds, really. I don't think I'm ready to jump brands since I have a lot invested in KTM, tools, parts, things like that. But it's always good to know what's out there. KTM came out with their TBIs now, and you know, maybe beta is a running contender. A lot of the guys that have betas love them, so you know, I'm not going to be dissing a brand, especially if I don't know it. In any case, it's been a while since I did one of these intros, and I know you guys missed my face, so hope you enjoyed it, and let's see what's out there. Alrighty, we are at NATRA. Some of the betas already out on the trail. As you can see, pretty awesome turnout for the bikes, not so much for the people, but that gives us a chance to try something different and see what we can get into here. I guess I'll start on the 350 then. All right, so what do we got here? Oh, this is road legal, huh?
Yeah.
I got you. All right. So is it?
No, this is a race edition.
Yep.
But you can hook it all up and put blinkers on it and all that.
I got you. 350 RR race.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got the KYB suspension on it.
Yep. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it easy for the first few minutes.
He warmed them up.
Yeah. No, it feels good. Ooh, that's responsive. Alrighty, we are on a 350 RR race edition. My first bike of the morning. I'm cold. I'm definitely stiff. So can't see. No, this is gonna be fun. There isn't a lot of people here today, so it should be a good opportunity to try everything. Hopefully when the sun comes up a little bit, I'll be able to see better. Boy, this 350 is smooth. I'm not ready for a log crossing just yet. Whew. All right, next loop around, I gotta go around the puddle. Not sure what tires this thing is running on. Feels a little loose.
So the suspension feels pretty good. It's actually fairly stiff. That may be the race edition thing. I'm not sure. I'll have to look up some of the specs on these things. Maybe I'll do a post-ride voiceover. But yeah, I'm not hating it. You know, it doesn't feel like my bike, obviously. It's not set up for me. But the brakes feel pretty good. Whew. Yeah, just a little loose in the back. I'm assuming that's the tire. Say it is butter smooth. My 350, although I do have an aftermarket ECU on mine, I got the Vortex, but my 350 feels a lot more jerky compared to this thing. This almost feels like my buddy's 250. Not for lack of power, just for low throttle smoothness. Like, almost feels like a traction map, you know? Where it's not breaking loose anywhere and it doesn't beat you up. Plus the throttle's really easy. Yeah, this bike is very smooth. I'm actually surprised. I don't think it's underpowered. For those of you who race, where endurance is important, and you like a 4-stroke, I could definitely see this being a good tool for that. I'm not having to fight it at all. In fact, I'm barely touching the clutch and it's sort of just transitioning on and off the throttle nicely. Whew. It only has flag handguards, so I can't feel my fingers. I do hope it warms up a little bit. If I do enough laps here, I bet I'll be toasty. This is smooth. I know I've said that 10 times now, but I just can't get over it. Almost feels like it's got reduced engine braking in some way. I mean, still there, but like I said, it's nothing like my 350. It's a brand new bike, so it's not a compression issue, obviously. I'm a fan. I still love me a 2-stroke, but if I ever get a 4-stroke again, you know, to get a serious thought here. my hand. Woo! That's gonna leave a mark. Some of the other bikes don't even have flag handguards. So I really gotta be careful here. Yeah, these tires are just hard. I'm not trusting them on logs. Nothing against the bike, but you know, stock tires are usually kind of I'm not gonna call it budget, but they're not always intended for this terrain, you know. And some of the routes I've been riding over, I just slip right off. So I'm assuming a wet log like that wouldn't end super well. Like I said, I can't feel my fingers, so. I should mention it's like 32 degrees right now. Not my idea of a, I guess, warm enough riding day, but at least it's not raining or muddy. It poured down here a couple of days ago. I think it was raining all day. My property flooded pretty good. So I've been in second gear this entire time, and it seems nicely geared for the woods here. I'm not wanting any more power, and I'm thankful for the smooth traction. When you get on it, it's definitely there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's got the power. Woo. This is a fun bike. If you guys are considering one of these, I say go for it. Well, it's the only one I've ridden. But no, you know what though? I am amazed how smooth this is.
Really?
My 350, I got a KTM 350. It's so jerky on and off throttle, even in traction mode, with an aftermarket ECU. This thing is butter.
It has traction control too.
Is that what it is?
Mark, what's a traction control?
Okay, when you engage the traction control,
I don't think I engaged it. Was it on by default or no? Do you know?
no, this bike doesn't have it. Wait, this is a 4-stroke.
Yeah.
No, I'll show you how to make it work.
Well, so the reason I'm asking is this thing was butter smooth. Like, it's in gear. On off throttle, there was hardly any engine braking. It was just really, really easy to ride. So I was surprised because my 350 is very on and off, you know?
It's not on. It wasn't
Okay.
on. That's how you turn it on right
Okay.
Now you want to ride it with it on? See what it's like?
I gotta let my hands recover a second. But even with it off, my only complaint I think is the tire. But other than that, I mean, I was surprised how smooth it was. It was just flowing the entire time. Are these Maxxis tires? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Max Enduro, okay. Quick review of Maxxis Max Enduro tires. Not great. But this bike was pretty awesome though. So we're warming up by the fire a little bit here.
It works for a little bit, but then
What's up, Corey?
pushes it loose. Yeah, he'll get a mile and a half in the trail and it shuts off on you.
Boy, that is nice right there.
What it is, man.
I just rode the 350 RR race. That was super smooth, man. For a 4-stroke, it's really smooth. There is a 430 if you want to try that.
Wait till you ride the 390. That 350 and 390 is about the difference of a 250 and a 300.
Really?
Yep.
I was commenting the 350 felt like a 250 smoothness wise.
Like the 390 will be more like a 300.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna compare them as 2
Yeah.
strokes and 4
Yeah.
strokes. We're gonna put this hat up.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll see what comes back. All right, we're gonna try the Xtrainer. So Corey used to have one of these. Any tips, Corey? Any tips? Oh. Ooh, that is plush. First impression, that vibrates pretty good. Beta Xtrainer. Okay. Right now feels a little bit not much torque at the bottom. Might have to ride this one harder. Still can't see though. Ooh, that rear brake is very aggressive. All right. Getting a feel for it. So I think all these betas are running on Maxxis tires. I hate to say it, but that is definitely what's keeping them back. Man. Engine vibrates quite a lot in this one. I'm assuming it's not counterbalanced. I'll have to look that up. But you can feel the vibration. The foot peg's pretty good. Definitely the handlebars. It does go when you give it some beans. Yeah, it's definitely not lacking power. It logged off with that pretty good. Brakes feel pretty good. The rear is sensitive, like I said, but not overly so. Now we're talking. Yeah, this bike definitely likes to be revved. It's a 300, I believe, but I'm not sure they detuned it or if it's the gearing or what. But you got to be a little aggressive with this thing, I think, to get the most out of it. Now the suspension is super plush. I haven't bottomed out or anything. I can't comment on... Ooh, I almost missed it again. I can't comment on how it would do in jumps, because there aren't really any jumps here. But it's very, very plush. Almost feels like my 300 suspension in terms of softness, not necessarily compliance. Yeah, that felt pretty good. I think I'm warming up a little bit. Hands feel better. So, you guys probably heard Corey mentioned that that 350 is more like a 250, and I guess the 390 is more like a 350. So, hoping to ride that 390 also. Check it out. Yeah, this bike has no handguards at all, so I'm not going to be taking any risks here with my fingers. If this is the only bike that fits you, because, you know, height-wise, or if it's in your price range, I don't think this is a bad buy. Feels very competent. Like I said, my only two things I would complain about are the tires, which you can change easily, and the vibration. So if you're prone to getting like hand numbness from vibration of handlebars, that could be an issue. If you stand on the pegs like I am right now, my feet feel very tingly. So I could see that doing 30 miles of single track, that might be an issue. I don't know why Beta didn't counterbalance this engine. I mean, I assume it's not counterbalanced. Like I said, I'll confirm. But for all I know, the other two strokes might not be counterbalanced either, now that I think about it. That's one thing I did not look into. I'm a little spoiled by KTM's counterbalancing, which is butter smooth. So we're in second gear basically this entire time. Just a little bit of clutch. My hand. okay in the dirt. The tire, I mean. I just don't trust it on logs. It deflects a little bit off of roots too. Yeah, this bike definitely has the go when needed. I don't think you would have any issues keeping up with your buddies. And the low end is friendly enough for a new rider, I think. Whew. Yeah, over these whoops it felt pretty good. That top end feels good. So in summation, if you're okay with vibration in the foot pegs and the handlebars, this is a good bike. Now if you're a heavy rider, that suspension may be a little bit too soft for you. I know you can get it resprung, but it is on the softer side always, so something to consider. Everything else feels good. All right, that was the Beta Xtrainer.
200, 300.
300, yep.
That's it.
Question mark for the audience. That one is not counterbalanced, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is counterbalanced? Boy, it vibrates pretty good for a counterbalanced engine. That's something I noticed. So all the 2-strokes are counterbalanced, right?
Not all, the 200 is not.
The 100 is not. Okay. Okay. No, I really liked it. It just vibrated a lot, and the Maxxis tires I'm not a fan of. But everything else was nice. All right, so we got 250 RR. Exciting. Let's give this a go. Beta 250 RR. Okay. So as you guys probably heard, turns out the Xtrainer is counterbalanced according to Mark, who owns the dealership. The only one that's not counterbalanced is 200. So this 250 is counterbalanced. And again, I'm going to verify all these facts. Oops, missed the turn. So I'm going to verify all the facts for the video. But right now, this one feels less vibey. Now this is a 250, the Xtrainer's at 300. it'll max his tires, unfortunately. This 250 feels smooth. Throttle is reminiscent of my bike. So is the power. Feels pretty revvy, which is nice. Like it gets in the power really quick. See how it lugs. It lugs well. I think it's a little happier in the upper RPM range. Brakes feel good. Clutch is very light, by the way. On all these guys, clutch is very light. Whew. I'm liking this 250. Not miss this turn. Now, ergonomic wise, I don't really believe in bar raisers and things like that. Dang it. But even so, this one feels really good. So I'm 6 foot with a 32, 33 inch inseam, and this is perfect. I would not change much of anything about this. The bike also feels very light. I don't know what the actual curb weight is. Feels lighter than mine. Might be the 250 engine. The suspension is firm, but not bad. I must not like his hands very much. I'm just kidding. There's some pretty good riders out here today. Yeah, this 250 feels really good. Vibration is less than the Xtrainer, more than my bike, but I don't really feel it in my hands or feet to the point where I'm thinking about it. With the Xtrainer, it was in my mind. This one, not so much. Yeah, this engine is a piece here. I think I understand why guys like carbureted two-strokes. Everything all right? All right. what? I think I prefer this engine to my own. It is so lively. Got a lot of torque at the bottom too. So I didn't do a lot of research about these bikes beforehand on purpose, mainly because I didn't want to be biased for or against anything. I literally just want to feel it for myself and form an opinion, you know. Yeah, see, that route got me. If you buy one of these, I highly recommend you change your tires before the first ride. Unless you ride this kind of loam like this without any roots or rocks, in which case I think it'll be fine, but wet roots, wet rocks, and not a good time. Ow! Warming up a little bit, which is nice. I can finally feel my fingers. That's got a kick to it at top. It's a good engine. Good engine. Okay, final thoughts. Smooth engine, power-wise. Good throttle response, feels very light. A little vibration, not too bad. Bike feels pretty light overall. Suspension feels fine, even though I know it's not sprung for me. Brakes are good. Pretty impressed with this one too. No real complaints other than the tires. Very cool.
Okay, I thought about something.
Yeah.
You're asking me about that vibration. I think I have an explanation.
Okay.
I've always heard this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the closer you are to female, your bone density is going to be different, and more susceptible to feeling that kind of stuff.
I see where this is going. I can neither confirm nor deny that, sir. Post surgery, okay, no. No, it was. I was surprised actually. The 250, little vibration, but not noticeable. The Xtrainer, entire time I feel like my feet were buzzing. So that's the only complaint about it.
Did you try the traction control on the 4-strokes?
No, I only ran the 350 in regular mode, but it was so smooth. I don't think I needed it.
Well, try one of the others and just. I'm curious to. I didn't bring my gear, but
yeah.
I'm curious to know how that traction control works.
Okay.
Tyler Trimmer said it tamed it a whole bunch. I don't know.
It's kind of muddy out there, so.
That's what he did
To me, I turned it back off.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
But I think for a more beginner level rider, when they're in that and they're like wrestling it, going flat's probably a good thing.
So what did you think, Corey?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Pretty smooth, huh?
Yeah.
Did you have the traction control on or off? On? Okay. Yeah, I did it with it off.
Did you ever switch it back and forth? Or
No, I didn't realize I had traction control till I got back.
The only thing I did was switched it to the higher power mode.
How do you do that? So maybe I was riding in lower power.
Just right here, that button.
So was it in low power by default?
Probably had it on there. It's just you got a rain mode and a sun mode.
So if the light is off, is it in the mode or not? Okay, so that light wasn't on, so it must have been in rain mode, right?
Correct. But yeah, got that sun mode.
Yep.
That's rain.
Okay.
And that's just your traction control on and off.
Is there a no mode?
Normal? You ride it in either one of them, that's it.
Okay. I might have been in rain mode, then that would explain why it was so smooth.
Yeah. I rode the first half in that mode.
Yeah.
And I got stuck on a little spot. I had to turn around.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I switched it to the heavy one. So.
Okay. No, yeah, so I think we might have been in rain mode and it was just butter. I was pretty impressed.
I loved it.
So.
I rode it pretty hard too, you know.
Yep.
It was fun. I think they got some of the best force trucks out.
Yeah, I think I have to agree.
These motors are great.
Yep.
The rest of it, I don't know, but the motors are great.
Yep.
It didn't vibrate my hands near as bad.
How'd you like it?
Loved it. You going on?
I was going to, but if you want to,
You can go ahead.
I'll be quick.
I'll go after you. All right. Go ahead and call. Have a start on the little line.
I know, right? I feel like I'm hogging the bikes here.
I haven't rode a 4-stroke bike in a while.
All right, so Corey, so we're in sun mode, right?
Sun mode is gonna be more power.
That's full power, and then this is. How do you change it? Just hold it.
Here you just press it. There
Oh,
it is.
so that's low power.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
And
got
then traction
Yeah.
on and traction off. Okay, we'll try it like that. All right, cool, man. Thanks. Okay, Beta 390 RR. All right, so we learned something. These bikes have power modes and traction control, which I was not aware of. So I rode that 350 in the morning. I might have been in rain mode, which is why it was so smooth. I'm gonna have to ride it again. This is a 390. Right now we're in full power mode. Feels pretty good so far. The clutch is really light. I noticed that on the 4-stroke since I'm using it more. I mean, one finger stock is pretty incredible. Power, full mode, right? No traction control. Feels good. It's more reminiscent of my 350. Boy, this road's getting deep. Yeah, I'm spinning a little bit. So we might try the traction control here in a second. In fact, let's try it now. Okay, so this is full power traction control. See what it does for me. Okay, interesting. Feels a little smoother, which makes sense, right? Not anemic or anything like that. Still skating around, but definitely not as bad. Let's see how it does uphill. Oh man, just tractored uphill. Okay. That's pretty cool. So I bet that 350, what did I say, 350? That 350 would feel similar in full power compared to rain and traction. So okay, we're getting a good picture here. That's pretty nice that these bikes come with these modes out of the box. So this is the race edition, which has better suspension, and it sure feels good. This bike's got a lot of go. In this terrain today, this traction control feels nice. Yeah, that's suspension, alright. Dang it, I keep missing this turn. I think if there's a race edition in the model you're looking at, it might be worth it just for this suspension. Because this is flush. Ow. It's flush and it's seems compliant. Even with these tires. I think the traction control tames the kick for sure. I opened it up pretty hard back there and didn't get crazy on me. Okay, so let's try it. Traction control off again. Oh yeah, there's the difference. You can feel it. It's more raw. Yeah, and the rear is kicking out pretty good. So, how about this? Let's try the rain mode really quick. Oh, come on. There's rain. Okay, so rain just tames the initial kick, I think. It's a little different from the traction control. They're similar, but I think rain still lets the tire spin. You just have to get on it more in order for that to happen. At least that's my initial feeling here. It's a little hard to tell in just 2 minutes of riding. Oh yeah, I think if you're tired, rain mode will tame things down for you pretty good. Yeah, it just takes the edge off of that power hit. So let's go back to sun mode. Okay. Oh yeah, big difference in power. Just off the throttle even. Yeah, you can hear it too. It's a lot more gravelly and just hits harder. Well, this 390 is a potent engine. Feels stronger than my 350 for sure. Whew. Boy, I am scared for my hands, let me tell you. Already smacked a couple of trees here today. The bike actually feels surprisingly light for a 4-stroke. Whew. Even in full power mode, it doesn't really want to stall. Like, I'm not really doing a great job with the clutch. It my opinion. And I've yet to flame out. So that's something that KTM could learn from. I don't know, guys, I might be becoming a beta fanboy. Sun got in my eyes just at the wrong time. Yeah, this bike's got a lot of go. It's a smooth power though. It doesn't surprise you. Yeah, this suspension is really good. Okay, so compared to the 350, which I may have been riding in rain mode, I'll have to verify. It's definitely more powerful, but it's not abruptly more powerful. Like, the power is still smooth, so it's still easy to ride. Like, I would not be afraid of this bike. Suspension is awesome. Power modes seem to work really well. Fighting with gears here. Ergonomics are nice. Throttle is very responsive. Yeah, 2 thumbs up on this one too. Very nice. Beta's doing something right. That was a cool bike, man. I played with the modes a little bit, like you said, and traction control is pretty incredible. I went from like this, my rear, to just barely, you know.
I didn't ever turn it off on the 350. So.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And then rain versus sun, you can still feel like rain is just smoother power delivery, but still breaks traction if you get on it.
200 RR.
That's a 200. Anyone waiting on the 200?
Over it.
So excited. 200 RR. All right, so those are the power modes. Boy, these kickstands are firm. Beta 200 RR. Woo. Boy, this is a lively bike. Okay, so we're in full power mode on this one right now. Just getting used to it a little bit. So this engine is supposedly not counterbalanced. Vibration wise, so far, I can definitely feel the vibration. It feels not too dissimilar to the Xtrainer actually. Whew. Boy, this is getting muddy. It's hard to get traction with these tires on this mud. So this thing has got plenty of power, just can't put it down. Like the second I get on it, I can feel the rear spinning out. Or try gear higher. Okay, so we're in third gear now. Okay. Okay, that feels better. Let's see how it logs in third gear up this hill. It's manageable. I wouldn't say great, but manageable. Okay. Back to second gear for a second. I want to see the engine braking of this guy. Yeah, minimal, as expected. Yeah, second gear is just crazy for this mud. Back to third. So compared to the 250, this 200 feels stiffer for some reason. Might be the suspension setup, I'm not sure. Power is not as smooth. It sort of creeps up on you a little bit at the bottom. I'm not going to call it weak. It's not weak. But then it kind of, when you hear the gurgling go away a little bit, like right there, that's when it really hits. And it's a fairly abrupt hit. Again, we're in full power mode though, so whew. Every single time. Okay, okay. Okay. I think, for me at least, the 250 is a little easier to ride. And I think the power is a little smoother on it. So for these kind of conditions, it was better. I think if you have more wide open spaces where you can wring this thing out, this would be an awesome bike. Whew. Yeah, see, when you open it up, it's fine. But without handguards in these trees, I'm not gonna be breaking any speed records here. But I'm in third gear, and this thing is just lugging through these mud puddles and all my stops. So that's cool. So obviously it's got power. I think if you got used to riding it, where you kind of stay on the power more, I think it could be good. For my style of riding, I think the 250 is more up my alley. But I'm starting to think that you can't really go wrong with any of these bikes. I mean, seriously. If I was given any one of these as the only bike I could have, I would still be happy. Alright, now that I'm starting to get used to it a little bit, and I'm getting on it, I'm digging it more. I don't know if these come in the race editions. I'll have to check. If they do, that could be a game changer, because you take this power plant and you stick it on that KYB suspension, and that would be a rocket ship. Because this suspension, I don't think it's KYB. Yeah, I don't think it is. I'll have to double check. But it feels a little jarring, a little stiff. Yeah, see, we're in third gear, and I just accelerate out of that hole with no problem. So good power. Smooth power too, once you're on the pipe a little bit. It's interesting how every bike feels a little better once you're used to it a little bit, you know? Whew, that tree came close to my head. Holy crap. Got a little air on that one. Yeah, third gear seems like a good gear for the woods for this bike, which is a little weird. You would think smaller displacement would need more rev to make good power, but and second is just too wild with this mud. So I know it's not counterbalanced, but it doesn't feel too bad, honestly. I still think the Xtrainer vibrates more. It might be because the piston's smaller. Whew. Oh boy, this thing kicks pretty good. Yep. Yeah, if you're racing or open terrain, this would be a fun bike. So overall, more lively than 250. It vibrates a little more than a 250, not as much as the Xtrainer. Maybe ride a little bit gear high. It could benefit from better suspension, but feels nice and light. Also feels a little slower than the other one, but I don't think it is. Might be just in my head. $200 RR. All right, 500 RR. In full power mode. Holy balls, this thing's got power. Oh my goodness. This is a big boy. This is a big boy. Whew. We're gonna try to get ourselves in some of these tight corners on purpose to see how it handles. Okay, initial thing, thoughts here. This is too big for the woods. No, seriously, it feels a little heavy compared to the other ones. Not overly so. Once you're moving, it's fine. It's more of like when you're stopped. Oh boy. And boy, that mud is getting serious. every time I get around here, it's worse. Okay, I'm working pretty hard on this one. So what we're gonna do is, in a minute here, we're gonna switch to rain mode, see if it's any better, because this thing's just breaking traction constantly. The engine braking is pretty noticeable too, so I'm also skidding off throttle. I think if you're going to dual sport something, this could be fun. But I still got to ride that 430, and that might be the ticket. This is just a big boy right here. Brakes are awesome. So I'm in second gear right now. Have been pretty much the entire time. And even off idle, it just pulls so strong. I bet if I had better traction, this thing would be a rocket ship. But I'm just fighting for all the traction in the rear right now. Woo. Boy, oh boy. Okay, we're gonna try rain mode here. Oh wait, it's got traction control. I didn't think about that. Let's try that first. Oh wow. I guess I can go this way. Okay. So pretty noticeable difference with traction control on, as you would expect, I guess. Suddenly my rear isn't loose. Oh wow, yeah, I just picked it up like it was nothing. Oops. Except for that part. I'm assuming because it's cutting ignition to control power, at least I think that's how the traction control works. It might be more prone to stalling, but in these conditions, That just made a huge difference. Yeah, wow. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can tell from the video, but I feel like my speed just doubled. Traction control on these things is no joke. Now some would consider it cheating, but I think it's acceptable. I'll take traction control over a recluse clutch any day. Sorry, recluse automatic clutch I should say, because recluse does make manual clutches too, which are really good. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this traction control, for real. It just transformed this bike, no joke. From a handful to completely manageable. Again, in this terrain, right? I think those not from Alabama don't understand the severity of our mud situation when it gets like this. It doesn't look that slick, but it's ice. Okay. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. This kind of flowy trail. This 500 feels pretty good. Still a big boy. But like I said, if you're dual sporting, and then occasionally you're getting into some nasty stuff, this could be the weapon for you. Still a bit more of a handful than the smaller bikes, but not bad. Dope. Yeah, I think that's the traction control kicking in. I'm sorry I'm so slow, guys. I'm seriously worried about my hands. I don't want to nail a tree with my knuckles. I've already done that a couple times today and it's not fun. I don't realize how much I like my hand guards until I'm riding without them. Similar comment to the other ones. If this comes in a race edition, that might be the way to go. You get the better suspension. This one isn't terrible. It feels a little better than the previous one. But I think if you can get better suspension out of the box, there's no reason not to. It's money well spent, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think I would want this bike without traction control for situations like this. thoughts? Big boy. It's a lot of power. Traction control is awesome on this thing. For a pure woods machine, I wouldn't buy this. It's too big. But if you're gonna do a sport, or you have more open spaces, or hill climbs, or maybe desert with a lot of sand, this would be awesome. Whew. This is a big boy right here.
Not a fight, huh?
Dude, without traction control, it was a handful.
Really?
Yeah, and the mud especially, once you put the traction control in, it was awesome.
Okay.
So I would try both.
Which one I want to do first?
There's the key, don't forget.
Oh, put it on.
Yeah, I just turned it off so you can turn it back on. But yeah, it was a lot of fun once I got traction control on. Before it, I was fighting it.
Really?
Second gear, basically. I did not try rain mode, but traction control made a huge difference.
I'm gonna ride the first part without it.
Yeah, I would too, and you'll see, man. It's very lively. It doesn't feel like a 500 weight-wise, but it's definitely got the power. Have fun, man.
People there, and it just takes forever to get on a bike.
So how would you rate what you've ridden so far? Like in terms of your speed, right? Because you're an A rider, right?
The 350 right now,
Yeah.
is by far my favorite.
Okay.
And then the 500 would be a close second.
Really?
And then the 300.
The 390 after the 500?
I haven't ridden 390 yet.
Okay, man, I don't know what's different about the
430?
390. I don't know if it's because I'm just old man mode and slow, but that 390 is fun.
The
It's so
430
much
is at the bottom of my list right now. I don't like the engine. I don't like the suspension.
Really? I gotta try that still.
I was ready to get off of it halfway through.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Which one? Which one?
The 430?
30. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're aggressive as hell. What'd you think about the
He's an
350?
A rider.
Did you do the 350 then?
Yeah, I
And you
like
liked
350
it?
better than the 430.
See, it wants somebody to beat it through there.
Yeah.
I'm plodding through there. It didn't like me. It didn't like me at all.
It's crazy.
There's no rhyme or reason. It's just because everything on the planet is subjective. Everybody likes it. I didn't realize it. Got a big wide range.
Yeah,
And
Jared was messing with it when he took off. I was like,
the setup can change everything.
Yeah, and I would have never
been in
thought
rain.
going like I like the 350, but also like 500. Like, and that's a technically a dual sport bike.
Yeah.
You know, it's that great.
Have you ridden
Well, you
the
know, I
Xtrainer yet?
rode the 500
That's what I
cc
thought.
bike.
The Xtrainer for me is my favorite.
My favorite too, by far.
Like, I'm not
I
gonna
love the
break the
Xtrainer
suspension
better than
on it.
everything. And I have a 390.
No,
and I
I'm
love
telling
it.
you, you
Because I
need
know
to
it's
ride it.
smaller fork. Isn't it smaller forks? Still,
Yeah.
Or did they beef it up?
It's still smaller forks, but I actually had a guy the other day buy it. He weighs probably 300 pounds that bought a cross trainer. Hadn't even sprung it or nothing. And I ran into him here. Me and Alan Marshall were riding, and I ran into him here at West Point, and they were on the side of the trail talking, and I just assumed he was just a slow rider. I just assumed it. I don't know why I assumed it. I just assumed it. Well, me and Alan, we talked to him for a minute, and we took off, and he didn't even have his helmet on.
like
And he
Spencer Cook.
caught me. He is exactly right. He caught me. I pulled over. He caught up with Alan Marshall. You know Alan Marshall, don't you? And he's on a stock
That's
cross
like Ronnie.
trainer and probably weighs
Getting on a 230 and
300
smoking
pounds.
it.
I'm like, and he says it's like
Drinking a
riding a
beer.
mountain
Yeah,
bike.
drinking a
with a
beer.
motor.
Glasses hanging off.
That's
I'll have
crazy.
to ride it. I
So
will
what's
ride
the
it.
difference?
And
What's the difference in tires between the 350 and the 390?
There's no,
Is it the same tire?
No, a race edition and a RR has a different tire. Okay, but I don't remember.
So the guys that push, the guys that are fast, the 350 works for them. It don't work for me at all. Yes,
but I don't like the tires on the 350. I like the
Okay.
tires on.
But you like the way it.
But I like everything else
responds
about
to
it. Again,
The other has Maxis on it, but I don't
It's
know.
a different
what it is.
tree.
It may be a different tree.
Do the two strokes come in race edition also?
yeah, there's a 300 out here.
Oh, okay. I haven't ridden that one
I
yet.
just got off of, and it's nice too.
Okay. Because I think that KYB is probably worth the money. That's what it feels like.
It is.
Yep.
If all they remember from the beta ride was they had fun,
That's all matter.
So I guess y'all thought I'll have to try the Xtrainer.
I'm curious what you think about it.
I'd be curious.
Yeah.
I actually thought if we did a poll that it would be the bike that would win today. I really. Yeah.
The top end on
I'm probably the only weirdo.
It is. It's a 300, but it's such a weird power curve, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark started me. I rode the 500 first, and he said, "Turn this on." He turned all that mess on.
Yeah.
I made it down the end of the straightaway, turned it all off. I didn't like it. It really, You couldn't make it spin, nothing.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Different ride styles, right? For me, when it's spinning and I can't control the spin, that's when I slow down, right? So for me, I got faster with the traction control, but you know, I'm not an A rider though, so.
Is the 500 the only one with traction control?
All of them.
No, all of them have it. I rode the 350 in the morning, I think in rain mode, not even realizing it.
Take a look at the buttons down there on the stem.
So I know about like rain mode.
If you got two buttons, the bottom is traction control. It's either on or off, and then the top is sun or moon, or sun, yeah, or rain, whatever. Yeah.
The only thing I think you can put a seat on there that's not like a tubular.
Well, you're supposed to stand up, man.
Well, I do as much as I can, but it makes you stand up. That's
Yeah. No, those are the two bikes I still gotta try. Everything else has been pretty good so far. All right. 300 RR. That's a good looking bike.
Yeah. It makes a difference when you switch the.
Yeah, I'm gonna try full power because, you know,
Yeah, well,
if I don't come back, you know what went wrong.
switch it after you ride it on that, you'll know the big.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, gentlemen, I'll be back in a few minutes, hopefully. All right, 300 RR Race Edition. So this is the flagship, I think. Okay, initial impression. Sprung pretty stiff, but not bad. It's been a few minutes since I rode the last bike. Dope. Okay, no one say nothing. No one say nothing. Everything's fine. Okay. So anyway, it's been a few minutes I rode the last bike, so I cooled off a little bit, unfortunately. But we'll try to make up that time. Okay. So engine so far. Feels pretty good. Everything all right? Okay. It does vibrate. Jeez, this whole... Well, I am fighting this mud though. So it turns out not all these bikes have the same tires. I thought they did. I'll have to look it up. But some of them are not the same maxes I hated. I'm curious what this is. It does feel a little slick. Okay, let's try the brakes. Ooh, really good brakes too. Yeah, the brakes on all of these have been really good. The bike is very precise steering, that's cool. Plenty of power down low. Doesn't spin up as lively as the 250, which makes sense, right? It's not terrible though. Feels more like my bike, which also, you know, makes sense given that I got a 300. I'm just a little cautious on this one because it feels a little heavier. So again, I think that's probably the, dang it. Where am I going? So yeah, this is probably just the difference between a 250 and a 300 in general. 250 just feels livelier and lighter. I guess you don't realize it until you ride them back to back. So I don't like it as much as the 250, believe it or not, engine wise. I do like it more than the 250 suspension wise, because I think the race edition, you know, has got the KYBs. And that's just my preference. Nothing wrong with this 300. I think I'm just becoming a 250 guy slowly. So just feels more, a little more lazy, this guy, I mean, for how I ride, I should say. Plenty of guys can whip a 300 into shape very easily. Okay, we did a log. Not very well though. I mean, when you get on it, this thing definitely goes. Almost went into a tree. This thing's got a lot of power. No complaints about that. Final thoughts. Suspension is great. Very responsive throttle. Power's plenty. Doesn't spin up as fast as the 50, which makes sense. And it feels a little heavier than a 250. But not bad at all. Pretty impressed with all these bikes. Beta 430 RR. Full power mode, no traction control. Oh man, I'm liking this guy. Whew. Okay, initial thoughts. Super nice clutch, as all of them have. Again, it's been a few minutes since I rode the last one. I know in the video it doesn't seem like it, but I just had a couple hot dogs and chatted with the guys, so a little off my game. But yeah, clutch feels good. Power delivery is very smooth. This is full power mode. They bypassed that, so that's cool. It's easier to ride than the 500 for sure. As for the 350, I think I might try riding that again, because this morning when I rode it, it was really cold and I don't think I had it in the right power mode. But this is very smooth. Feels pretty powerful, but in a very manageable way. And this is again full power mode, no traction control. I don't think I need traction control in this one. It's also drying out a little bit, so oh yeah, this tractor's up. Let's try the brakes. Yep, easy to modulate. Very nice. I probably sound like a broken record with a lot of these. I mean, they are the same manufacturer, you know, but they are significantly different in their power delivery. I like this. Everything good? So those were some of the club regulars there. I should stop and say hi. So I'm liking the Sport 30. I have to, like I said, ride the 350 again just to compare. This is very easy to ride. I don't think I need the rain mode. Butter smooth. All the power you need when you need it. Doesn't kind of jump in your face. Ooh, trees. I'm just in second gear. I think I'm a believer. I understand why guys like betas. There's a lot to like. Shadows are starting to play with my eyes a little bit here. Whew. Yeah, minimal clutch, and this thing is not stalling, and it pulls out of the hole so easily. It sounds pretty good too, I think. Carrying off speed for that log. My bad. You guys don't judge me though, right? Of course not. So yeah, the throttle response is smooth, like I said, power delivery smooth, engine seems very potent, suspension is what it is. It's not the race edition, but it's good enough. And it feels light. Not as light as a two-stroke, but it still feels light. It's just easy to ride. Like I said, this terrain is a little loose today, but this thing has not surprised me once. Very willing partner here. I'm purposely taking the same bad line, so I have a pretty good comparison. Yep. I definitely dig this one. I know some guys on the video didn't like this 430, but I like it. Yeah, that's what I had the entire time, and it was a kitten. Like I'm honestly surprised how smooth these four-strokes are. There isn't, like my KTM 350 is like an on-off switch. These are just like butter. No wonder you float through trees the way you do. I get it now.
I like both of those, the 430.
Yeah.
I love both of them.
Yeah.
That's the hardest I've rode any bike out here today was the 350 and the 430.
Spanish factory gas gas when they sold out. And they got all the right, so they
I didn't ride it near as hard as I did the other two.
And again, you know, everybody.
Wind whistle rides.
Your ears, the way you disseminate that information and stuff, the way you have.
So this guy here, he said he loved that 500. And I was like, that's my like least favorite. Everybody has their own ride.
Decent suspension.
That's what's great about Beta. They make different bikes.
They make a lot of different bikes, and on each model, you can set them in so many different. As you grow, you know, as a person's skill level changes, you can change it.
Yep, that's a nice thing.
300 two-stroke.
And they're the only brand that gives you a 1-year warranty.
Yeah. Are you the first demo day in the country for this model year?
No, for this model year, no. Last week, Bone Cutter was doing that.
Okay.
And I think they had new bikes too. There's different pods.
Okay.
There's multiple pods going to different places in the country. The list is on Beta's website where they're at, what dates they are.
Okay. No, I'm asking because you had a guy coming from Ohio, so I was wondering if you have something special here that, you know.
No, actually, that's not the long distance record. You were talking to a guy that came from Idaho.
Oh. Trying the course on my own bike just to compare. First thing I noticed, my handlebars are way more narrow by design. Second thing I noticed, very little vibration in comparison. That's the one thing KTM's got going for it for sure, is better counterbalancing on the two-stroke models. Also, my 300 seems to feel more lively than I remember. Meaning, I don't think it compares to the 300 Beta. it's somewhere in between. Seems to be a little more revvy than the Beta 300, less revvy than the Beta 250. Which is weird. My tires are way better though. That's a clear winner there. Like, I can actually hit these corners without freaking out. Holy cow, guys. That was almost really bad. That was entirely my fault. I wasn't watching where I was going. I thought I saw a deer. I looked to the right, and it was a tree. Oh, that was a rookie mistake. Could have been bad. Oh yeah. Starting to think I have the right bike. No, but seriously though, it's nice to have your own bike. You all right? Yeah. I think the only thing going on with my bike is I gotta play with my air screw some more, and maybe my sensor's going again, because it's a little gurgly at the lower RPM, partial throttle. So like you can hear it right there. I noticed the last couple of videos has been doing that. We got a new sensor coming, just in case it's that. But it may just be the air screw. I gotta play with it today. That will be the goal for next lap. Yeah, see? No problem. Even though I got the Midwest Mountain Engineering clutch lever, that beta clutch is still a lot easier to modulate. Well, not modulate, it's not the right word. It's a softer pull. Whew. How did I do that? Getting a bit of a cramp in my hand. I gotta hydrate more. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love this bike. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think the betas are awesome, but this bike is set up for me. It gives me confidence, you know, for the way I ride. And everyone's different, I get it. But I bleed orange for a reason. Well, I bleed orange because I hit a lot of trees, but I also am definitely a fan of the Austrians. All Austrians are good people.
Where to begin? I got to ride every bike there as far as I know. I honestly feel like I lost track. I might have missed one, but hopefully all 8 are going to be in the video. I don't really have any expectations per se, but I was surprised at how good all those bikes were, honestly. I was planning on only riding the 2-strokes because I thought there was going to be a big crowd, but in the morning especially there weren't that many people. So it was easy to kind of get on all the bikes eventually. But okay, so let me start here. The 4-strokes are super smooth. I would rate them probably, I guess I like the 350 and the 390 and the 420 more than the 500, but between those first 3, I don't think you could go wrong. I don't quite remember the 390, and I think I rode the 350 in rain mode, but all of them were really smooth. I remember the 420 being beastly but controllable and very well behaved. So if you're thinking about one of those, I don't think you can go wrong. The traction control on those bikes is amazing. I thought I had traction control on my 350 with the aftermarket ECU, but it's nowhere that good. So whatever Beta's doing with their traction map and the way they're doing it is really, really good. I mean, it transformed that 500 from a somewhat difficult to control large bike in the woods to a rocket ship, right? So very, very impressed with that. And then the 2 power modes, you know, the power mode and the rain mode, didn't play with those as much, but they clearly have, you know, noticeable impact as well. So good job, Beta. Those are awesome. I do prefer the race editions because of the better suspension. So I think I would either save up more money or just splurge for those if I were you guys. And I think working over a KYB fork and shock is more beneficial than working over whatever the other ones are. I'm going to have to figure that out when I get home. I apologize for some of this video being most likely text on the screen because, like I said, I didn't really do that much research ahead of time. I wanted to have a fresh perspective. So I'm gonna try to look up the tires and things like that so I can give you guys a better idea of what was what. Now the 2-strokes, that was interesting. So I think I like the 250 the most. The 300 was good, but I thought like the 300 just felt a little bit sluggish compared to the 250 and compared to my own 300. I did ride the course on my own bike. I don't know if I included in this video, I might, just to kind of reference it at the very end. And I ripped it up pretty good, I thought, given the conditions. But my 300 felt more lively than the Beta, and I wonder if it's because my power valve settings are what they are. I'm running the red spring, and my power valve screw is flush. So I don't know if the Beta even has a power valve. I'll have to look into that. But it may be that my 300 feels more lively than this 300 because of the power valve settings. So I don't want to badmouth the 300. I think I did in the video. It was a good bike. It just didn't feel as lively as mine. The 250 did feel lively, which is what I liked about it. But the 250, you know, had the less expensive suspension, and that wasn't unfortunately felt. Now, the 200 and Xtrainer. I like the 200, but I think the 200 likes to be ridden hard. I think if you pussyfoot like I do, it might not be the most happy bike for you. I think it's happier in the mid to upper RPM. But even in low RPM, when I was lugging it in 3rd gear, it was fine. I just think it's more fun if you kind of tear it up a little bit. If I had to have the 200, I would. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think I prefer the 250, and I think the 200 is not counterbalanced. Again, I'm gonna have to make sure that's correct. I didn't feel significantly more vibrations with the 200 though, compared to the 250. I think it would have been completely fine. My hands aren't susceptible to vibration in the handlebar like some people's, and I don't recall it being bad in the foot pegs. The Xtrainer, on the other hand, I like everything about it except the vibration. That vibration was very noticeable for me. Like in the morning especially, maybe because it was cold still, I'm not sure. But I mean, there was a lot of buzzing in the foot pegs. You know, I don't believe in rubber mounted foot pegs, and you know, I don't want rubber under my feet when I'm off-road, obviously. But if I was dual sporting something like the Xtrainer, I'd probably consider some rubber somewhere, you know? I'm not sure why. I think it is counterbalanced. Again, I'll have to verify. But man, it's a disappointing power plant for how good the bike is otherwise. I feel like for a 300, the power just isn't quite there at the bottom. It does pick up later, like I said. I expect it to lug a little bit more, but it's just very rough and low RPM. You know, in the beginning, I almost thought like it was something wrong with it. So, yeah, I mean, you know, hindsight, right? During the ride, I'm sure I said things slightly differently for all of these bikes, right? And I'm kind of looking back at it now. I think you could still be happy with the 300 if you can live with the vibration. I think everything else about it is good, right? If you're lighter weight, maybe female rider, you know, where the suspension being slightly less beefy, the forks especially, you know, doesn't bottom out on you, could be fine. I don't know if I videotaped this portion or not, but Mark was saying, Mark is the owner of Adventure Off-Road, the guy who put on this event. He was saying that he had a customer buy a Xtrainer, and the customer was fairly heavy, like 300-pound range, and that customer rode that Xtrainer at like A/B level pace, no problem, right? So I think the bike is capable. You know, if you respring it especially, I just don't know if I personally could live with the vibration, especially in the foot pegs, given kind of what we ride. So anyway, very impressed all around. The Betas have a good thing going for them. They're smooth, they're nimble. All the bikes felt pretty light, like nothing felt overly heavy, even the 4-strokes, you know. I would say the heaviest feeling would be the 500, which makes sense. But once, you know, I had the traction control on and kind of got it going, and honestly, it wasn't bad. So if you're in the market for one of these, you know, I can't comment on the previous year models, just this one obviously. But if you're in the market for one of these, new or used, I think you'd be happy. Like, I don't think there was a bad bike in the batch, right? Which is saying something. So yeah, splurge for the race editions if you can, and kind of pick the engine displacement you think you'll be happiest with and go with it. I'm very happy I went. It was, you know, very eye-opening event, I think, but it was nice to kind of ride my own bike afterwards and realize like I have a good bike, right? I've always said that in the videos, but it's kind of hard when you just don't have anything to compare to. Not that the betas are bad, I just think my bike is tuned for me and how I ride, obviously, and I like it. I gotta figure out why it's a little sputtery, you know, in lower RPM, especially when I'm already moving. Might be the air screw I gotta mess with. It might be my sensor going bad, like I mentioned, or it might just be the way the TPI is, so I'll have to figure that out. But I'm not looking to jump ship anytime soon. Again, I'm gonna give KTM a couple years to figure out what they're doing with this TBI, figure out all the little kinks, and I don't want to be a beta tester anymore, no pun intended. But I really don't. KTM tends to throw new products out really quickly, and they're like 80% good, you know, and then over the next couple of years they work out like what's not working and then fix things mid-production. I don't want to be, you know, $10,000 in the hole and then find out that the fuel pump is in the wrong location, which it sounds like it might be on these bikes. Anyway, enough rambling. I think I've been going for like 10 minutes. This might be a separate video. I might tack it on to the very end. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you got through all of this, you're a champion. I'm going to index the video, so hopefully make it a little bit easier to digest. But I really appreciate you guys taking the time to check out what I do. And hopefully this can help you make your decision and maybe even sell you on a beta. So anyway, thank you all, and I'll see you next video.